Hello, everyone. Less than 2 minutes until the show begins. Hopefully, everyone is seated and ready for the show. But if not, grab your snacks, wash your hands, and sit 6 feet from your computer screen. Thank you.
Like, my father would take us to the movies an hour late. Because his shit was traffic. He's like, we're going to avoid traffic. I saw fucking E.T. backwards. I swear to God. I sat down an hour in. I was terrified. Fucking alien right away. No build up, nothing. We had no idea what was going on. And then we would sit. The audience would leave. And we would sit, the movie would start again with a new audience, and we would go to, oh, for the first hour, oh. And then when we got to the part that we saw, my dad would go, all right, let's go. And we'd leave. What kind of a fucking childhood was this? But we were happy. We didn't have the internet. We just had each other. Fuck. And he would bring home the bootleg DVDs. And you couldn't see shit. But 15 minutes in, you get used to it. I paid $5, okay? We're gonna watch this shit.
Yes! Hello. Welcome to another episode of Laz Vic Live. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is 80s night on Laz Vic Live. I'm very, very excited. I hope you guys are too. Say hello in the chat. Let me know what's going on. I see some hearts. I see my mom, bendición. I see Tammy, sit.
Yes.
It's madness this week, a lot of madness, but we are here in quarantine still. I think we're opening up now a little bit, but it's good to be here. It's good to see you. It's good to be here tonight. We have a very special show, and I want to welcome all our new subscribers and our returning subscribers. I want to welcome you all. Big shout out to our top fans this week, new top fans. And if you're not listed here, you're still a top fan. This is just the newest ones this week. I just want to thank everybody that's here tonight. Thank you very much. And Anthony's still not on top fan. I have no idea, Anthony, what's going on. Why you're not a top fan. I'm so sorry about that. But you should work harder, Anthony. You gotta work harder. After the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, after the show, please check out the Laughing Tree Comedy Club. My friend Victor Cruz runs his own virtual comedy club, and it airs tonight right after my show at 10 p.m. So go check them out. Guys, we'd like to get you away for the hour from the news and everything that's happening. But I have to acknowledge what happened this week. The horrible, tragic events with Mr. George Floyd in Minnesota. And I just want to send my heart out to him and his family and condemn those acts of violence. Obviously, we're all smart enough to know that not all police are evil. Most of the majority police are good, including my cousin who works as a police officer. So God bless George Floyd's family. God bless police officers. I just hope that we can find peace and justice in all of this. Okay, so now let's get out of 2020 and let's transport you back to the 80s, ladies and gentlemen. My 80s fans, let me know you're out there. Let me know if you're an 80s child. I want to know. I see lots of heart. Joe Fernandez, what's up? Dennis, Amy joined us. Everyone, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. So let me transport you guys back to the 80s. Guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. I want to welcome my panel, my guest for this evening, Theresa Ryan.
Hi. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Mr. Victor Cruz.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I
And
appreciate
my
it.
announcer and guest for this evening, Old Greybeard. Thank you for joining the panel tonight. Tammy says, hello, 80s rule. Yes, they do. Guys, I just want to welcome you. Are you guys ready for an adventure?
We are.
Oh yeah.
Sure are.
So ready.
I'm so excited. Let's do this.
Really? I'm
Let's
excited
go.
too. I love the 80s. I'm an 80s child. Gil's watching. What's up, Gil? No, not live on YouTube, Amy. We're only live on Facebook, and then we upload to YouTube afterwards. We are on Facebook. We are the older generation. By law, I'm supposed to
How could
only.
we even be live on Facebook or YouTube? There was none of this back in the 80s.
There wasn't. There wasn't any of this. So, guys, tell me, Theresa, for the people that don't know, let us know a little bit about yourself.
I am a former actor. I studied with somebody else on your panel.
What's up, Theresa?
Hello, my old college pal, Victor Cruz, who invited me to be a part of this because he knows I'm a crazy 80s fan. I did some improv comedy and do mostly voice work now.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Old Greybeard, tell us a little bit
Yes,
about
sir.
yourself.
I'm an old fart. I play video games, and I'm a voice actor. And
Awesome.
I'm your announcer.
Mr. Victor Cruz, I understand you run a virtual comedy club.
Yes. We had our premiere show last Friday night, and now every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time, right on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Victor Laughs. You get a chance to come inside the comedy club that I've created, and it's fantastic. You were on the first show, and we've got another great show set up for you guys tonight. So I can't wait for you guys to be there. For those of you watching, literally jumping from this 80s adventure right into
some stand-up
late night
comedy,
Tree.
some virtual stand-up. Awesome. So let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started with our 80s list.
Yes.
So, guys, I've asked you to send me your lists, and you guys haven't seen each other's lists. I'm the only one that's seen all of your lists. So we made a rule that I didn't let Theresa know early on. No Goonies, because we knew Goonies would be number one. But I didn't tell you on purpose because I wanted to see if you would choose
Goonies was number
for
one with
number
everybody
one.
else. With
But
me,
we're not
with
going to
a
reveal
control
anything
group.
yet. We're not going to reveal anything yet. Our lists are going to come up one by one, and we are going to explore the 80s. Here we go.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wait. You see, of course, I have all my numbers. All right. Top 10 80s movies. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to go right to number one right now. Right to number one. Everyone's pick for number one. Now, hold on. Let me
I did
see.
it backwards.
Let me see if I can. I guess I can't. Okay, so everyone's pick for number one. We have
That's number 10.
Oh, that's the number. We're going from 10 to 1. I'm sorry. We're going from 10 to 1.
Okay.
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 So everyone's pick. I was War Games. Theresa, Dirty Dancing. Victor, Beverly Hills Cop. Old Greybeard Gremlins. Very, very different.
Yeah, very different.
Tell us about your choices. Theresa.
I'm going to start.
Yeah.
I'm going to hear it. You got to have that movie on there somewhere. And my number 9, I don't know if we're going in order, so I won't spoil it, but a good dancing flick in the 80s. You had the Footloose, you had the Flashdance, you got to have Dirty Dancing. Came on the later side of the 80s. But I recently watched a Netflix, it's like a limited series called The Movies That Made It. It was so good. And it so good. And so it reinvigorated my love or just sort of nostalgia for that movie because it's not a perfect movie. Yeah. But it also shows you just how fucking bonkers it is to get a movie made, period. But in the 80s, they were totally fuck these people. They were really assholes. They were extra assholes. Am I allowed to?
Yeah, you can curse. You can curse.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay.
Be free.
Be free. And so if you have seen it, Victor, you've seen it. I don't know if the other two of you guys have seen The Movies That Made Us. You have to check it out. So it turns out Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze absolutely hated each other.
Really? I didn't know that.
They hated each other. So I didn't know that. And so if you watch it again with that hate, you do see why they did it. Because, there's a fine line between hating each other and wanting to bone.
Can we see it? Let's see. Can we see it? Can we see any indication here?
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
So much hate in your eyes. So much hate.
She's I hate him so much.
Yeah,
she hates him,
I've
right?
done this take 8 times and I can't wait to see it.
I can see it now,
dude.
Yeah,
the last scene. I got to finish this shit. Got to get out of this. I'm calling my father, Joel. This piece of
Put me in
shit.
Ferris Bueller. Now
Yeah, right?
This shit. It's
He tortured me in Red Dawn, this guy. He tortured me.
They were in Red Dawn.
That's why they hated each other.
That's why they hated each
Right.
So guys in the chat, you want to vote for your best one out of these 4. Which one? Go ahead and vote. No one's going to be tallying these votes at the end of the show, and it means nothing. But please vote. All right. We got a lot to get through, so we're going to go right to number 9, and we'll pick someone else to talk about their pick. Old Greybeard, number 9, Stripes.
Stripes. That's up there with the epitome of some of the greatest writing from the 80s for comedy. Look, you had Dan. No, it wasn't Dan Aykroyd. It was Harold Ramis, Bill Murray. You had John Candy. Oh, man.
The best.
That's one of the main reasons I picked it, even though he wasn't in it a whole lot. But John Candy in the 80s, just spectacular. You probably couldn't get away with that kind of comedy today just because there's a lot of interesting 80s stuff going on in that one. But, oh, man, it's hilarious. Hilarious.
Victor, Indiana Jones, I love that movie. Temple of Doom, that's an interesting choice.
You know what it was? It's okay, so Raiders of the Lost Ark, that's classic. I mean, that's the first one, right? And of course, I love The Last Crusade. You've got Sean Connery in there. But for some reason, Temple of Doom, we watched so much in my house. We had it on tape. And for some reason, it was always on HBO or TV. And then I think I just became very close to watching Temple of Doom. And we'd be imitating scenes from Temple of Doom. And so it became just one of my favorites out of the Indiana Jones collection. The whole taking the heart out of the guy's chest, There it is.
When you saw that in the 80s.
Dude, I don't even know. I must have been 5.
5 or 6. We were 5 or 6.
5 or 6. And the thing is, my parents used to take me to see all these movies, and they didn't care. They didn't care. I saw what was that movie with Jodie Foster, where she.
The Amish one, or is it the rape one?
Yes. What was the name of that? It was.
Oh my God! Yeah, it was like a pinball machine.
No, it wasn't The Accused. It was
Witness. No, that was the Amish one. Oh my God, I don't know.
I forget what it was, but anyway, she had been raped, and she goes to court, and that's not a movie you take your kids to. But my parents, they're like, we got no babysitter.
Same. It was the 80s parenting style. It was whatever.
It was different back then.
It was.
It's gonna be okay.
I think I have a very distinct memory of Alien, and I was 2 years old.
Really?
It's trauma. It's trauma.
Okay.
It
Okay.
traumatized us.
Number 8, Scarface, of course. It's one of my favorite things of movies. Ghostbusters. Dude, I forgot about The Last Starfighter. Wow,
So
what
did
a
I.
good
I was like,
one.
no way. I got that on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so awesome.
the best.
Oh yeah,
The
that
best.
was. I forgot about that one. That
Oh.
that was definitely in the list of like really awesome films in the 80s.
Yeah.
What was the
I
dude?
watched it.
What was the co-pilot's? Greg? Or
I don't
whatever?
know, but he was like a turtle or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like a tortoise.
His laugh though was awesome.
Oh yeah, he had a good laugh.
And
That
that-
movie, he's like this desert kid who plays video games, and so that it's so 80s. So yeah,
Now I want to
Imagine
go back
trying
and
to
see
make
it because
that
I don't
now, 'cause
remember any
everybody's
of it.
playing shit. It's like
they
yeah.
should.
They should totally
They should
come like
make
do a
this
new one. That makes complete sense to do
They
it
did,
now.
right?
They did Ready Player One. Why not do that?
That's true. That's true.
You probably forgot about it. They don't know until it's
Yeah.
not on their
You know,
radar.
that's the thing. I think it got overshadowed by Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, I
Pee Wee
remember
Herman
that.
was in
Yeah.
that.
You leak.
Remember Pee Wee? He was in that.
Wow.
Jason says Planes, Trains, Automobiles. That was old Greybeard's pick. That's one of my all-time favorites also.
John Candy. John Candy once again.
And this
John
is
Candy's
these are
the
personal
I'm not a-
lists.
I'm
Not
a
that
big
they're
John
the, you know.
Hughes fan, but that is probably one of the best comedies in my opinion.
Oh, I love that
Uh,
movie.
It's got this heartwarming story, and John Candy, you don't know anything about him until the very end, right? But the whole time he's laughing his ass off through life. He's just like, hey, that ain't so bad. You know, let's just have some fun. And I love that philosophy. It's good. It's good stuff.
Moving on here. Let's see. Number 7. We have Clue,
Oh.
Coming to America,
Oh,
The Karate Kid,
Wow.
Lethal Weapon. Victor,
Oh yeah.
The Karate
Yeah.
Kid.
The Karate Kid.
Number
the
7. That's
classic,
your
man.
number 7. What's your memory of that?
Of the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
The Karate Kid, man, that was like, for some reason, me and my cousin always did that scene like, live or die, man, you know? And like the fact that like, you know, this kid, you know, he learned all this fighting stuff in like 2 days with Mr. Miyagi
Right.
and like then kicked the bully's ass. And that was totally our story. We're like, we're getting picked on in school. Like if we could meet Mr. Miyagi, you know, so we
Right.
kind of like, we love this film and we were always looking for Mr. Miyagi, like in the neighborhood. Like if I saw somebody that might resemble Mr. Miyagi,
my
I'm like, yo, can you
God.
train me, you know?
That's
But the
awful.
movie's classic. Come on,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
classic. And
You
and
guys-
and that,
Sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just thinking of part 2, The Glory of Love. You think of like Peter.
Man,
Yeah,
he
I
sounds
like
a
Johnny
total
now,
jerk
man.
yeah.
Finish him! And look at him. He's totally confident.
Yes.
He's like, wait, this is not like some of the things
Oh.
we learned. What is he doing?
No!
Wow!
Yes!
Son.
And you got off
That's
your
it.
chair.
Oh, that look of
And the
pride
blonde
from
girlfriend
Miyagi.
that I always wanted that I never had.
He's got that, all that sweaty.
The
floor
blonde
on his
girlfriend
face
running
now 'cause he
towards
was
me.
barefoot when kicking.
Elizabeth Shue, right?
Oh,
They-
Yeah.
the,
Loved
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
She's coming
Shue.
back.
the girl
She's
in Back
coming
to the
back.
Future for.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's up there. She's
Oh.
the love of his life.
Yeah.
Get to that. Got excited. Sorry.
Oh, that was... And then you went home and you played The Glory of Love after part 2.
Oh yeah.
You
for
played
sure.
it over
I think
and
it was playing
over.
on the radio way before the movie came out. That's how
Constant.
they would sell the movies.
Yeah.
Teresa, we just met. You're finding out so much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who sang
I
that
love
song?
Peter Cetera.
Peter Cetera from Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know what? Teresa made me a CD in college that had these 80s songs. And actually, she put The Glory of Love on that CD. She gave everybody
Get
a
out.
80s
It's like
CD gift. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it because I was stealing all the music from Napster at the time. Like, I got to do something with this. I'm gonna make everybody a mixtape.
That was a
your
common
way of
practice
giving
back
back.
then was making
Yeah,
mixtapes.
basically, that was my way of justifying it. I'm like, gonna give everybody some music. I'm gonna pay it forward. Yeah.
That's how we communicated with each other back then, right? We give each other
Totally.
mixtapes. And you spend hours making your mixtape.
Oh,
Oh man, those are classics.
Okay. Number 6. Back to the Future. Of course, that's pretty obvious. I mean, you know, I was trying not to pick mainstream, but I picked some mainstream, some not. Ghostbusters, of course. The Lost Boys, excellent.
oh, I had that.
Isn't that awesome? The Lost Boys.
Love
Predator.
Lost Boys. That's my jam. Yes.
You're eating maggots, my
Oh my God, The Lost
Yeah.
Boys.
Wow.
Cry, little
Okay.
sister.
Who
Yeah.
else
like-
wanted to be a
Something a
vampire
billion
after that
Chinese
movie? I
people.
wanted to be a vampire.
Yes. Oh,
Totally.
the Corys. Was it both of them?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, both
It was
Corey's
both,
there.
yeah.
Corey Feldman and Corey.
Yeah, they
Hennig.
were like a package deal.
But
Their
there was
agent at like.
They worked
Oh,
at the comic
God.
book shop.
Yeah, the Frog Brothers. Yeah.
The Frog Brothers, right?
Oh, that
God.
movie is so
Back in the
good.
day.
It's
saw-
so 80s too.
I would dress in all
So-
black for like 2 months after that movie.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I watch it every year around
Back when
Halloween.
they
It's
had
like
mom and pop video stores. Sorry.
And the music is so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
The entire soundtrack is so good.
oh, it's
Right?
so good, so good.
and then of course Ghostbusters is I mean, it
So
has to
good.
be on the list.
So good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
There he is.
This is their
There he
first
is.
gig, I think. They're looking
Right?
for Slimer.
Their first
On a
gig.
Saturday
Their
Night
first
Live.
official gig. See, Slimer's
There's
like
the hotel. He's like, what? Oh, the
Aikman.
cigarette hanging from the lip.
Aikman.
Yeah.
Aikman.
I don't know if this is true. I don't know if Aykroyd's confirmed this, but Slimer's supposed to be like a caricature of John Belushi.
Yes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
They have good insurance.
I hope so. Does
I
it
didn't
like
know
is there a
that.
rider that's like ghosts, I don't know. They have a ghost rider? Anyways. I did not mean to say it's a different movie or cartoon. Anyways, whatever. That was like a dad joke. That was a total dad joke. I just
It's
accidentally-
cool. I'm a dad, so I'm right
Fine.
there with
Okay,
I mean, not that
alright.
you're a dad, you're a mom.
No, but moms have mom jokes. It's just
That's
like
true.
it
That's
happens. Yeah. Okay.
You're probably the one that have all the jokes in your house. I see now.
No, there are lots
funny.
of dad jokes.
All
My
right.
husband's watching this though, so I better be good. Like they're good dad
Yeah,
jokes.
And of course, any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is going to be
Oh God, Predator.
amazing.
Oh,
Predator.
Predator.
The pain.
I mean, just
Yeah,
insane.
that.
Yeah.
That's
on.
classic too.
That was like the original Expendables. They brought in all the action stars
Yeah.
together. Think
Yeah.
about that. That was the first time they did that. Maybe I think.
Yeah.
They were all badass.
Let me
Yeah,
correct
I'll-
you.
Let me get a confirmation on that.
I also like it because Arnold
That-
gets his ass kicked.
He does. He
He
does.
gets the shit knocked out of him. So,
And then
so
what he realizes, you don't need all that muscle. All you need is some mud.
some meat, some brains.
Showing my nerdy side here. My number 5 pick is
dude, I
Star Trek
almost
Wrath
went
of
with
Khan.
Labyrinth. I almost went with that.
Look at that. Number 5. We're all like a lot of sci-fi here. This is like the sci-fi
It's like fantasy
section.
and sci-fi. Yep.
Wow.
Mhm.
Isn't that interesting
Wow.
that we all pick sci-fi
Dude, Wrath of Khan. Yeah.
Oh
buddy.
yeah,
So
classic, best.
just
So
because of that
good.
actor in Wrath of Khan? What was his name? Ricardo Montalban.
Man.
Oh, yes.
He was amazing.
Mhm.
And he was a Latino actor, and I just looked up to him,
Mhm.
and I was like, I can't. What a performance the dude did in Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever
fantastic,
seen
man.
it, Teresa, but it's
He was
very
doing
nerdy.
that when he was doing Fantasy Island. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, man. Yeah, he was killing it. And Khan, that's
Here's
probably
my
one of the
autograph
greatest
picture,
villains
my
of
Star
that shit.
Trek autograph picture, because
Oh,
I'm such
nice.
a nerd.
Oh, that's awesome.
Spock and Kirk signed it, and they were like, Laz. What kind of name is that? Laz.
Like, you were on a show about aliens and traveling through space. Why would you even judge me?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so many alien names that they must have to have.
Never Ending
had to
Story,
say.
of course. One of my all-time favorites.
So
As a
Good.
kid, right? You're just amazed.
so good. Yeah.
It's a little too
It's so
close.
cool. Yeah.
Sorry, this makes me think of Family Guy where he's sitting on the back. You're too heavy. Get off me.
I will have.
These weird, like, short films.
Yeah. They were all like helicopter, airplane, like cinematography. It was just always on before Sesame Street came on. That's
So
what it was.
these are just deleted scenes from those PBS commercials
Yeah.
put into.
They were like, "Can we
the
just
film.
borrow that? This is a low budget
We're gonna
film. We're
need
trying to do
this."
a lot." Yeah, yeah, totally. That's what they did.
Man.
Mara says,
Yeah.
totally want a dog with wings. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of people coming in with really good suggestions. We have so many movies. You guys each sent me an honorable mentions list. I couldn't even get to it. Joseph says Harlem Nights. Another. Is that in the 80s or 90s? I'm not sure.
88.
88. Look
It
at
might have
you.
been 89, 90.
Look at that.
Harlem Nights.
Yeah, it was right up there.
Number
around there.
4. Okay, now I picked Indiana Jones, so me and Victor kind of have that in common. Top Gun.
Nice.
The Last Dragon, which is a freaking classic.
What? Oh my God.
And
You forgot
Die
about
Hard.
that one?
I did.
You did? You forgot about that one?
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
Kiss my cum.
Guys in the
Oh.
chat, which one of these 4 do you like the best?
Die
Put it in the chat, please. Which one wins?
Man,
Not
these
that it's
are
a
all great.
competition.
I'll always be your wingman. Top Gun.
Dude.
Oh,
Gosh. These are
Always playing in my
Dude,
house.
He's coming back. Iceman's going to be in the next.
They're remaking it.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it.
And I know Tony Scott, obviously had his eye on being the one directing this, and it's unfortunate he's not around anymore. But yeah, Top Gun is kick-ass, man.
Yeah.
Gun is
Very
kick-ass.
nostalgic.
Ooh,
And of course,
Dan
Die Hard.
said Top
And you gotta-
Secret.
Die Hard, like,
Dan,
yes.
you are
Oh,
my hero.
God.
No one knows that film, and it was in my initial list. But Top Secret with Val Kilmer. If you guys haven't seen it,
I've got that right here on my desktop.
if you guys like airplanes,
Yeah.
watch Top Secret. Shout out to Dan, dude.
Yeah. That's one of the last good slapsticks because it started getting silly around the scary movie time.
Oh yeah.
But back in the era of like Airplane and
Yeah.
that kind of what was it, Naked Gun?
Yeah.
That stuff
Naked Gun
was-
2.5.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Those guys sold it.
So, what would you say is your favorite? Everyone's favorite genres. You have a favorite genre like you lean towards? Sci-fi, comedy, drama. Our lists are all over the place.
I think when it comes to 80s movies and your top list, like, again, those are your formative years, like we were younger and stuff. And so, and it's a decade. So there are just like, it runs the whole spectrum of different kinds of movies, right? But one of the things that like a friend of my husband's and mine mentioned one time a few, several years back, is that they don't really make fantasy movies anymore, but they were so big. Fantasy and adventure and fantasy movies.
Yeah.
They don't make them really anymore, but in the 80s it was like Romancing the Stone and
another great
all
one.
the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
And it's just like a genre we've lost, right? Like, it's weird. Yeah.
And they were kind of
Think about
mature for us, those movies. A little
Yeah.
bit, right?
You know what it is? It's weird. It's like the things that we loved in the 80s, I found that they sort of pushed them into sort of a B movie place, moving into the 90s and the 2000s. And then people just started producing a bunch of like really bad versions of things we loved growing up. And then
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Oh.
You don't like Stranger Things, old Greybeard?
Oh,
I like it because it's
appreciate
80s.
nod.
I like the. I don't like season 2 and 3, but
The first
all right.
season was
Moving on. Here we go. We're at the half-hour mark
funny.
here. Number 3. Are we on number
Oh,
3?
damn.
Number 4?
Whoa.
Wait, Top Gun?
Whoa.
Okay, number 3.
Same for number
Oh,
three.
Look at that.
Wow.
Wow, Laz, we were like on the same frequency, my man.
We were like, we're eye to eye.
Stand By Me. I thought about Stand By Me. I thought
Ugh.
about it because that's like a movie that has such a huge impression on me as well growing up.
So amazing.
I mean, I just remember I watched that movie so much.
yeah.
So much.
His
Stand By Me, yes.
performance in that movie, like to this day, if I watch that movie, like some 80s movies, you watch them, they don't hold up. When his performance comes around, River Phoenix, it is like I get chills, I cry every time because he was just next level, so good for how young he was. He was fantastic. That movie was excellent.
He was a teenager, right? Or very? Yeah.
He was really young. He was preteen. They were like preteens. Like it was Will Wheaton. They were like preteens going on an adventure. It was wild. I mean, it's a great movie. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Very mature as well, very real. When you're a
Very
kid.
real.
It's like you go on this journey with. That was on my list too. Stand By Me definitely was on
Was
my
it?
list.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a
It was so hard to
bittersweet
pick,
story.
but I've seen that movie 10 times. I mean,
Good.
and then River Phoenix in that movie were just it's such a tragedy. I feel like he would have won the Oscar. Like eventually he would have been.
Yeah,
an
absolutely.
Oscar winner.
The brother
Absolutely.
eventually did, didn't he?
The brother
Yeah.
eventually
He
did.
Yeah.
I still think River was just worlds beyond
He was-
Joaquin, but Joaquin's
Yeah.
great too.
He's great.
I
yeah.
think that River
I
just
think
like it was just in
I agree
him.
with you, Theresa. I think
Fire.
it took
There,
Joaquin a long time to reach that level.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Bingo.
Victor.
he was
No, so
like
I feel-
Henry Thomas. Good.
and I
Yeah.
feel like Joaquin is like River Phoenix was like warmer, more introverted, but in a different way.
Totally.
Like you felt like you were like him. Joaquin is a different kind of introvert. It's like
Cheer.
it's kind of almost scary. I'm not sure if I can share all the same feelings, but River Phoenix, I felt like I was always on the same page with his sort of insecurities and how he played characters.
Oh, that's cool.
Joaquin, it was his eyes. There was something going on behind those eyes with Joaquin. You could tell he was holding back some kind of psycho. So when Joker finally came along, it's like, dude, this is it.
Just give him the Oscar.
Yeah.
Just give it
Just
to
Just give
him.
me
Yeah.
Oscar before he kills us.
Yeah.
Right? Woo, that was a crazy movie.
And what was
Yeah.
that movie
Yeah.
with
Oh,
River
wow.
Phoenix that they were space travelers and they met the alien? Do you guys remember that one? River Phoenix, The Explorers, or something like that. It was 3 kids, and they got into like their
I went to see that in the
homemade.
theater. Oh my god!
They got into their homemade spacecraft, and
It was
then they
Explorers.
went to a spaceship, and the alien was a comedian.
I gotta look this up really quick because I
But
The
feel like
Explorers, River
Explorers.
Phoenix was the star, and he was very
Yeah.
young, very
And,
young.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke was also the star of that movie. There was 3 of them. You don't remember, Victor? You remember that one? The Explorers.
remember that one.
Okay,
I'm trying to
Anthony
see if I remember
comes in
that
with
one.
the win.
I'm like-
Explorers. Thank you,
yes,
Anthony.
yes. I'm looking at the rocket ship and it's all bringing back all kinds of
What
memories.
was the name of that? What was the name of that, actually?
The Explorers.
The Explorers.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he said it at the top there.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry. I apologize, Theresa. Sometimes when I get excited, I don't hear well.
That's fine. That's fine.
See, I'm prepared with the sound effects on there.
You are forgiven.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Moving on. Yeah. So E.T. That's amazing. That we.
True.
Yeah, she was so
Anthony
cute.
says Cloak and Dagger, another amazing 80s
Wow.
movie.
Yes,
Oh my
Cloak and
god,
Dagger.
Abney Coleman. Nice.
that's a great one. So E.T. a classic.
So good.
Stand by. The Empire Strikes Back, of course. Star Wars. It's mandatory. This
Mandatory.
on this
Had to
show
make the list.
to.
Had to
That was
make it.
my get out of jail free because that's like
Mm.
Empire.
At first,
No, but
my
it's great.
entire list was all Star Wars, and then I had to pare it down after that.
Hear you, man. I hear you.
So
I just decided to wear a Star Wars T-shirt. I was like, I have
Yeah.
to just try to keep them with me. But,
is that
yeah.
what you're wearing right now? We can't see. Let's see.
Yeah. It's like an alphabet Star Wars
Get applause for that.
T-shirt. Yeah, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
All right. Let's see. Guys in the chat, please give us your favorite 80s movie. Sleeping on Trading Places, Dan says. Dan is also an 80s connoisseur.
I almost put Trading Places down.
I thought of
'cause
it too. I
It's
thought
so
of it too. But
good.
It's
was
very
like,
hard,
too-
Dan. Very hard to fit all of them in.
It's so hard. So hard.
How do we do it? All right. Number 2. We're back. Ghostbusters. Now look at this. Back to the
Wow.
future. Back
See,
to
I'm
the
sensing
future.
a pattern.
Oh yes, Victor.
Now it's getting serious.
Yes.
How many sci-fi movies did
Marty,
Victor pick? Let's
Marty.
see. Victor, sci-fi 1,
Well, flip
sci-fi
the factor.
2. That's
21
kind of
gigawatts.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sci-fi 3 for Victor. Sci-fi 4. Victor. 1 maybe realistic movie, sci-fi again. Dude, all your picks are sci-fi, Victor.
I guess I'm a big sci-fi head, man. That's where my heart is. I mean, the 80s was
Yeah.
filled with such great ones.
We're
It really
learning.
was.
We're learning a lot about you, my friend. Okay. So number 2, Ghostbusters. So
It's like
Or
after
even-
all you've just witnessed, you can't accept that.
Yeah. I mean,
You're right.
yeah, exactly. Like everything that's happened. You're the one that believes in this. You're the one that pitched this, and you don't believe it. Okay.
Well, remember that's the
Yeah.
1955 version of him. He still is processing a lot of information. He
That's right.
sort of got the idea of flux capacitor, but didn't quite understand it yet.
Thank you for clearing that up for us. No, you're right.
Anytime, Theresa, I'm here for that kind of
Your
clarity.
character study is on point.
I've studied this a lot.
you've studied
Yes,
Back to the Future. I know you're
She
super
does
into Back to the
script
Future.
Oh my gosh.
I think Victor's currently building a time machine in his house.
I am out of a Chevy. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic with the little dog with the bouncing head. It's gonna be fun.
Oh my
Ugh.
god.
I love it. I love it.
Let me see here.
Oh, I should have.
So
had
we,
part
we
two
have
in.
we played Ghostbusters.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Big
part 2 is
deal.
great too. I love the
Big
moment where the guy from Western Union brings him the letter. That's such a great moment.
Yeah.
All three of them are great.
They're all
three of
great.
them.
They're all great.
I could watch them. I love watching them in their entirety on a day when you have time.
Yeah.
I
And they
do.
just bring back so many memories because, like, my dad loved that movie, and I'm sure your parents. I don't know. Like, it was a family thing for us to watch Back to the Future. It was just amazing.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, well, just like one of Laz's jokes where his father would take him to see the
Yes!
movie midway, like that's exactly what happened with us. Like we walked into Back to the Future at the end when the DeLorean rises up, it hovers and flies
Get
away.
out of here. Really?
That's
Your
when we
family
walked into
too?
the theater. And then my parents were like, "Oh, it's okay. We can just sit here and watch it again." And I was like, "Okay." We did that a lot, so that does bring back some memories.
So like, yeah, it's like, there's a DeLorean that leaves in the end, so you already know the end. Yeah, totally.
That's hilarious.
Totally.
And then back then, it was like a family event. Everybody would go to the movies, and it was a different event. All right, hold on. Let me just check my connection here.
And going to the movies is serious because I felt like we used to go to church on Sundays, but I felt like we would skip a Sunday and go to the movies instead, and then we would go to church the next Sunday. And it was like I had two churches I was going to.
Oh man, that was religion for my dad because he always we had to get there at least 30 minutes before lights go down. At least.
So he was the opposite of Laz's dad.
Yeah. Pick out the chair.
The opposite.
And by the time the movie starts, popcorn's done, the drink is done.
A tale of two dads.
Yes.
A tale of two 80s movie loving dads.
Oh man. But I was the same way when I got older.
Yeah.
That's hilarious too.
You guys
Yes,
remember
brings back
double
memories.
features? Double features.
Yeah,
man.
back then they allowed you. Remember, you could sit in the movie theater and they just allowed it.
Chair.
In I think it was 86 or 87. So this movie I almost put it on my list, but I was late to the game liking this movie because I was so scarred by a double feature, and that is The Princess Bride. Because my mother took me to a double feature that had Flowers in the Attic playing right before The Princess Bride.
Jesus.
And if you don't know what Flowers in the Attic is about,
That's like
it's
I
about
remember
children
this
being
movie.
starved by their mother.
Oh my
why
God.
would you put
I was scarred. So I don't even know what happened. I was so stressed out about the last one because it was only like 6 or 7. I couldn't even focus on what was happening at The Princess Bride. And it's like everybody's favorite fucking movie. And I'm like, Flowers in the Attic. Like, that's just all I can think about.
You're like just remembering feeding that little mouse in the attic. And
And them getting
Oh my
like drawing
God.
their own blood and like just weird, like the older brother doing medical shit on them. Oh God. Or like, oh.
yeah, that was a trippy movie, man. I remember seeing that and like freaking
Terrible.
out.
It was terrible. It was very scarring.
it's like showing you Last House on the Left and then going to see Muppets Take Manhattan or something.
I know. Like who
That's-
decided that lineup for double
That's
features?
crazy.
Who made those options? Is it like it could have been Who's That Girl before, The Princess Bride. It would have been a little
Wow.
lighter, bad Madonna movie.
Wow.
Really good,
So they, you know what? So guys, I think
That was
Facebook
terrible.
might have cut us off. I'll still because I'm playing these movie clips. It says
you, I
only
told you we-
your video is blocked. But we'll finish up and then I'll just replay the rest of it. Holy shit, they're on top of it, dude.
Wow, Facebook did this?
It might. I don't see any more chats. We kind of went dead.
Weird.
You've been
We broke
All right, we're
Facebook.
back. We're live again, guys.
Okay, here we are.
Sorry about
back.
that. Facebook took us down because of a copyright issue. Because I played an extra 10 seconds of Back to the Future and they went crazy because,
That, you don't mess with that
the
one.
movie
Yeah.
people need their money. So God forbid we play 30 seconds of a movie.
Sorry, Mr. J. Fox.
Sorry
Bet you
about
we played
that.
Dirty Dancing would have been fine.
So we're
Probably.
back on, hopefully people will join us for the last one. We got number 1 coming up right now. We'll give people a chance. Isn't that crazy? See, this is what you learn. Oh, there you go. See you. Thanks, Amy. We're back. Facebook took us down, ladies and gents. You would think I'm a radio DJ or something. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. You are the modern day DJ. This is
Hey,
what it is,
sorry
man.
about that. We got kicked off because of Facebook copyright.
It's
Ladies
crazy.
and gentlemen, thank you, Facebook, for
David.
kicking us off. I guess I can't play movie clips anymore. So we're back. We're back. People are joining. We got 7 already. Boom. Guys, we had a little blip there. It's a live show. Facebook got mad at us.
2 hours later.
It's a game around here. You know what I'm saying?
Shall we play a game?
So we're back up. Okay. So we're gonna end the show with number 1. Amy says never
All right.
lost you. Thank you, Amy. Jason's laughing his ass off. Tammy, sip, sip, sip. Here we go. All right, guys, we're counting down to number 1. We're still here. We're
Nice.
80s kids. We persevere.
Maintain.
Let's do this. I'm so excited to see what everybody else's number 1 is since they couldn't put the Goonies, except me.
Ah,
Awesome.
All right, number one.
Old Greybeard, RoboCop, very interesting.
Yeah.
Those are some interesting choices.
Wow.
So, does anybody even
Yeah.
know my movie? My movie is called Better Off Dead. Does anybody
Dead
know
or
what that
Alive.
movie?
That Better Off Dead is, I think that's one of my husband's.
Oh, shout out to your husband.
I think. I don't know. I know that I missed that one. Isn't that Cusack?
Yes.
It's John
Cusack.
Cusack, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, let's look.
I can't play more than 5 seconds. Boom, there's Cusack done.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, cops are.
That's the
They cut us
$2
off.
scene. I want my $2.
Did they cut us off again? Your video is done, or you were just being safe?
No, I was just being safe.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
okay.
No, live and learn.
Yeah.
Legit choice.
Maybe Facebook just hated our list and they were like, what about my list?
Yeah, they got
Right.
mad at us, our
Cut us
80s
Like,
list. So,
ah,
ladies and
Better
gentlemen,
off
flowers in the
dead.
attic.
here are our number one picks for top 10 80s movies. Better Off Dead, Goonies, Coming to America, and RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Of course, Goonies, has to be up there. It is
Chris.
the classic.
Jerk alert.
So near and dear to my heart. I'm sure like everybody here is like, so it's such a nostalgic movie. Like you just remember, I went to the movie theater to see that movie. And then I remember going home and I remember my dad walking in and being like, what are you doing? And I was praying, but I was praying to One-Eyed Willie. Like I was like, God, whatever, but One-Eyed Willie, because
Yes.
like that scene where like, Sean Astin is talking to One-Eyed Willie to ask for him for like permission. I was like, let me pray to him. Like, what was he gonna do for me? Anyway, I don't know. I loved that
Wow.
movie.
One-Eyed Willie, yes. I love One-Eyed Willie.
Until I saw that movie.
Yeah, baby Ruths are gross.
They
They're so
are.
good.
They are
especially
I used to
Yeah.
like Baby
watching
Ruths when I was
shit.
little. I don't know who was eating them, but I was definitely eating Baby Ruths when I was a kid. Maybe it was the movie. Maybe that's where I got it from.
You
Yeah,
were
and I
inspired.
can't eat Rocky Road either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure. I don't like Rocky Road. Overrated.
Just because he's sitting there raiding the damn pantries, like Rocky Road.
isn't that where the dead
Dude,
body
that's
was?
gross.
Let's talk about Coming to America, though.
Hell yeah! Oh god, yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Like one of the best films ever in
Yeah.
the 80s. I mean, geez, it had all the right ingredients. It still lives up today. You can watch that movie and
They're gonna
laugh.
make another one. I found out that today. Do you guys know that they're making
Yeah, they already made it.
What?
Wait, making
They
a
already
what?
made it.
that?
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Arsenio
Wow.
in it.
Arsenio, I believe, is in it.
Oh,
Most of the
yes.
cast came back.
Oh, that's
They have
crazy.
some new people they've added, like Tracy Morgan, Leslie Jones.
My God, amazing.
I think they have Michael Blackson in it. I think. Yeah, oh, Wesley Snipes is in it.
Oh,
Now
wow.
Wesley Snipes was great in
Yeah.
Dolomite. I mean, he was hilarious.
he was great.
So I'm looking forward
That
to
whole,
seeing
the
it.
whole Dolomite movie was amazing.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
It's on
Really
Netflix
great.
in case you haven't seen it. Dolomite. So Dan, a lot of people are giving us great movies that we never got to. Spaceballs,
Great.
Caddyshack, Fletch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
Dan,
put
we couldn't
Fletch
fit them
on top
all.
10, but
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
that, yeah,
And
All
that's-
three of those.
I
One,
couldn't.
all
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uncle
Yeah.
Buck. I mean,
This
it's
was hard.
endless.
This should be a 2-hour show.
I know.
We
It
should have
should
definitely.
be. We should do a
that's what I
part
was
2.
saying.
Yeah.
And do another 10, definitely.
A part 2.
Real
Part 2.
Genius,
Love it.
another one he's saying. That's a great one. I mean, and you guys sent me honorable mentions, and I just couldn't get to them all. I mean, it was so many. It was like
Dude,
100 movies.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Which one?
Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh my God! Yes,
Had them all.
yes, I remember that.
Best.
Howard the
Yes.
Duck,
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Duck.
Oh, that
Deep
movie
now.
was so
We're on
weird.
the
Adventures in Babysitting.
So good.
I also mentioned Big. Big was a
Big?
classic. It was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And,
Mac
Weird
and Me.
Science.
huh?
What was it?
Mac and Me.
Mac and Me, the
Dude,
E.T.
you took it
knockoff.
back. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
great. Mac and Me.
Or
That
Man
little
ZT.
dance session at the
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Or Man ZT.
Or Man ZT. Or like some exec was like, we need another ET, and they're like, I don't know. So that's like,
Remember when he
And
fell
they were
off
eating
the cliff in the
McDonald's.
wheelchair?
Mac and Me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good,
yeah.
but I like it.
Sold.
Yeah.
Remember Over the Top? Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah. Oh
His
yeah.
head backwards.
That was the one where Sylvester Stallone was like a trucker, And he would go to these like rest areas and bars, and they would like arm wrestle. The
Yes.
whole movie is about arm wrestling.
Roadhouse.
So cheap.
And he had a
Roadhouse. Oh my
yeah,
God.
Roadhouse.
Too many.
That just
Too many.
reminded me.
Tammy says
Try-
Debbie does Dallas. I don't think that's an 80s. Well, maybe
Debbie's
it's an
the-
80s.
That's
like
an
70s
80s porn.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
different category.
I mean,
But
I
thank
guess.
you.
Killer
Yeah.
Clowns. Oh my
Most-
God, from outer
I mean,
space.
Dallas was a TV show without the Debbie does
Yeah.
it. That's
That we
TV
know
show.
of.
It just
Hands
goes
down.
on and on and on.
Oh, dude.
The 80s was a great era. We're all 80s children here.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I'm ready for that new one. Ready
We are
for
the
it.
Me
only,
too.
if you think about it, we are the
There's a
only
third one.
generation.
They just finished filming the third one.
That's
They
right.
just finished.
Now,
Yes.
Is it the same actors or
Same actors. Same actors. And the
Where's
premise.
curly blonde-haired guy been? What's he doing? He's just been waiting on the
been in
sidelines.
that
for this
damn
He's
role
a
movie?
for
vampire.
a
He was in
job.
Lost Boys. He's a vampire.
Okay,
So he's
yeah, but
lived on-
since then, oh, I see. So is he like frozen in
Oh.
time? I gotta
Yeah.
Google him. I gotta see what he looks
He
like.
was. This wasn't an '80s movie, but he was in a very funny movie. I think it's called Freaked. Came out
Okay.
in the early '90s.
Okay,
He was good in that. Bill Winter, I think's his name.
Bill Winter, right?
I
Yeah.
think that's
Okay.
his name.
All right. I'm gonna check on this.
So
Yeah,
guys,
cool.
too many
John
movies. Too many movies to get to. It's already been 1 hour. We're approaching the hour here. It's amazing how many we could just talk all night about the 80s. The 80s was like we're the only generation that went from analog to digital. We lived in both worlds. We are a special generation, the ones that experienced the 80s. I want to thank my panel, my guests tonight for coming on the show and giving us their picks of the best 80s movies that are near and dear to their heart.
Thanks, Laz.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you for
you,
having us,
guys.
man. This
For
was like
having
so
us.
much fun.
So
Oh
much
my
fun.
God, it was
Oh.
so much fun. It just brought me back. It's nice to get away for an hour and just, talk
Yeah.
about nostalgia. So guys, hang out. Hearts in the chat. Big applauso. Guys, that was amazing. We had technical difficulties there at the end. But we pushed through, ladies and gents, because we are 80s children. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. The video is going to be cut in two right now, so I'm going to have to go back and edit the last part because Facebook kicked us off. Thank you guys for joining us again. We got kicked off because of Facebook copyright, because I played a few seconds of some movies, of our beloved movies. But don't worry, I will edit that out, re-upload. And you can check out the rebroadcast on Facebook, on YouTube, and LazVicLive.com. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, 10 p.m., The Laughing Tree. Go over to Victor Cruz's page and check out his virtual comedy club. It airs at 10 p.m. tonight. Guys, thanks so much. It was so much freaking fun. Guys, let me join us. Let me see. Let me just make sure I got my outro. Do I have my outro here? Where's my outro? I have an outro. Hold on. I have an outro. I don't know where it went. Fuck. All right. Well, I guess no outro. So anyway, guys, join us on the next time. Laz Vic Live, LazVicLive.com. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next episode.
This has been another episode of Laz Vic Live. Good times.